And welcome back to the Daily Drive with Joe. This is the afternoon show, and we're going to reveal what vehicle I'm driving today, amongst other things. Good day to the Bulletin team as well, my amazing team behind the scenes who make these videos possible. You guys are absolutely fantastic. If you guys only knew how hard every member of the Bulletin team is working nowadays during this lockdown. We're still doing the weekly newspaper. We've got all these videos, we've got the Facebook feeds, we've got the Instagram feeds, we've got the YouTube feeds, and now, strangely enough, we're working harder than what we usually do because firstly, we can't see each other in real life, and that means it makes it a bit more difficult to communicate certain things. The internet, as you can see, it's getting increasingly more difficult to get a decent internet connection. With everybody being at home, Netflix and chill, without smokes, you know. Anyway, so a big shout out to our sponsors for these shows. The Daily Drive with Joe is very proudly sponsored and powered by the BB Motor Group in Tzaneen, and we couldn't have done this without you guys, so thank you very much. Right, so some of you guessed what vehicle I'm driving today. Some of you were close, and there was a few of you that was spot on. So while you and I are having these little drives, my team is sitting in front of the laptops and computers, and we've got them checking and making notes, and so we know who the winners are and who was first, and you know. So right, so tomorrow we've got Easter, which means I'm going to have a church service being streamed across the Bulletin Facebook page, across this page. So those of you who don't have access to a live streaming of your specific church, you're very welcome to come and join the Bulletin congregation tomorrow and enjoy a live streaming special Easter service for all of you stuck at home. Because of this Easter service tomorrow that you can watch live on our Facebook page, we will be having the Daily Drive morning show an hour later, which will be at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. But the morning show tomorrow is going to be rather special, right? Because I've received this letter from the Department of Home Affairs and Trade and Industry and every other department, and they have granted permission for the Easter Bunny. They've tested him, he's COVID negative, and they've granted him permission to do his rounds tomorrow. So, for you, the viewers of this show, both of you, we have got a little surprise. So the Easter Bunny is going to be doing the rounds, and I'm going to try and see if we can catch him. And if we manage to see him, if one of you guys manage to spot him tomorrow as we do the drive, make a note of it and immediately make a mention in the comments while you're watching. The first person to spot the Easter Bunny tomorrow will receive a hamper. Now this hamper is something very, very special too, because it is from an emporium, a design emporium, local, and they specialize in modern kind of metropolitan, out there, tongue-in-cheek clothing. The name will be revealed tomorrow as well. The hamper will include a very, very cool cap, baseball cap, an equally impressive t-shirt, and a very, very cool backpack. So if you want to win this hamper tomorrow, make sure that you join the Daily Drive with Joe just after 10 o'clock tomorrow, not 9 o'clock, because remember, we've got that church service that we're going to be streaming for Easter tomorrow. Directly after that, I'll be hitting the road in another exciting vehicle. And if you manage to spot the Easter Bunny as he does his rounds, you could walk away with that very exciting hamper by a local emporium. So, what do you think about that? Hi Cornelia, ek wil baie graag in Polokwane gaan rondry. Ons het 'n paar kliënte. We actually do have a few clients in Polokwane. One of them is a very exclusive client. I'm sure if they invite us, we'll go. But thanks, Cornelia. We really appreciate the compliments. Alright, so we're driving over the bridge now this bridge crosses over the R71. And we're approaching Sugar Hill. We've got some nice rain coming on. Beautiful weather. Our area definitely needs any millimeter of rain that we can get. So I would be very interested to hear from our local rain expert, our rain man, Fani Oberholzer. If Fani or any one of his personalities would be willing to tell us how much rain we got, how much rain we received, that would be absolutely fantastic. I'm going to turn into Sugar Hill. Incidentally, guys, both the sugar stores, Sugar Hill and Sugarloaf, will be open. I'm going to, I can't remember the exact times that they did release a notice. So when now this guy didn't even look before he reversed. Anyway, so when I get back home, I'm going to look at the notice that they put up. Oh, you know what? Go look on the OK Sugar Store's Facebook page. They've posted the notice there. And yeah, go see for yourself. So this is Sugar Hill. It's relatively busy, but not really as much as what one would expect, or as much as what it was this morning. I do think that this morning town was a lot busier because people are getting their supplies for the Easter weekend, and the shops will most likely not be open the full day tomorrow. Going to take a drive back into town again. I think, from what I've heard, some people have sent me messages. Town is rather busy again this afternoon, so I'm going to drive past there. I see a lot of traffic as we drove over the bridge. While I drive to Lifestyle, let me tell you, this little car, thanks Anthony, this little car that I'm driving today has really, really surpassed all of my expectations. So by now you guys know that I'm driving a Suzuki, and it's a Suzuki Espresso. Now this little car reminds me of my first vehicle that I had, which was a Toyota Taz, except mine had the 6x9s, the regulatory 6x9s, the obligatory stickers, heavy metal stickers on the back windows. Slipknot was my poison of choice at that stage. So yeah, and this vehicle reminds me of that car that I had. Its name was Tiny. Tiny was quite impressive because we fit 11 guys, get this, 11 people. We fit into that car, including my sister. So it was 10 guys and my sister into that car, and we drove all the way from Centurion to Palabora, and we made it. Anyway, so this car that I'm driving, this Espresso, the Suzuki Espresso, this vehicle is like Tiny, the Taz. It's just Tiny the Taz on steroids. Let me tell you, I'm so surprised. If you guys are thinking about the future, you want to buy your kids a nice little run around for when they get to the university. The vehicle is very safe. Obviously, guys, let's not be ridiculous. It's not any of the giant vehicles that I've been driving the last few days. Obviously not. But it's very, very safe. And the features, I'll talk about the features in a second. Let's first go and have a look at town. But the features are quite amazing. I was very, very surprised. It's got a touch screen in it, about the size of your average tablet. You know those cheap tablets, the smaller ones. It's got a touchscreen, Bluetooth. It's got the, what do you call it? Oh, the Apple CarPlay. It's got the Android Auto. You've got voice commands. It's got navigation maps loaded onto it, so you can connect to Google. And it's got quite a bit of power for it's a 1000cc. But this vehicle gets 4.6 liters per 100 kilometers. 4.6 liters of petrol per 100 kilometers. Now, you're not going to get that with very many other vehicles. I was told that this vehicle is in the same class as the Renault. I forget which one, but it's a very nice car, very, very affordable as well. Even if you're not going to get it for a student, I think that this vehicle is perfect for the mom, the runaround for the mom. Okay. And let's see, we are here in Lifestyle Center. The parking lot is quite full. I'm going to drive slowly through the parking lot. Yeah, there's a lot of cars in this parking lot here at Lifestyle today, despite the cold weather. So this is an indication that we were correct in our theory that the people are stocking up for the Easter weekend. I'm going to drive slowly now, then you can look in front of you, look into Checkers, look into the center itself. There's a lot of people standing there, but they are adhering to the social distancing protocols. A lot of people standing outside. It's can you see, guys, it's quite busy here, right? Hy sê, weet jy, journaliste moet nogal redelik aan kop hou. En ons, wel, oom François Oukamp het altyd vir my gesê, toe ek nog vir hom gewerk het as 'n joernalis, 'n stomp potlood is beter as 'n skerp geheue. So, ek skryf baie van die goed neer, maar die ouens soos Rikus hulle en vanoggend was dit Ivan, gister was dit Philip, en dan Gavin hulle. Voordat ek in die voertuie klim, verduidelik hulle my vinnig wat is die specs. Obviously, as julle nog meer wil weet, if you guys want to know more about these vehicles, besides the basics that I talk about, check on all of our posts. You'll see there's a link there that takes you to the BB Motor Group's website. And then also every day, the vehicles that I drive every day are featured in this page's cover image. So head up to the cover image when you've got nothing better to do. I'm going to have a look at what's going on there. And then, yeah, so I've got the very basic specs of the vehicles that I talk about. I'm obviously not a car salesman, but the car salesmen and their managers and the dealer principals are all watching this show, and they're all standing by to answer all of your questions. So this was Lifestyle, guys. I think it's, well, look, it's busy. Like, it feels like it's just a normal day. It still doesn't feel to me like we're in a lockdown. I have yet to have an entire drive show where I don't see people anywhere. Now, for me, and I'm sure you guys will probably think the same thing, The problem here is that if you look at South Africa's lockdown, look at this guy. You can't just stop here, brother. You want to stop there just because why? Because you're probably a citizen of the independent state of Claude Wheatley. That's probably why. Anyway, so for me, it's quite noticeable that if you look at the international community that's all part of this lockdown, if you look at Spain and France and even Italy and those places, that's serious lockdown, guys. Those people are staying indoors, and I mean they're playing each other music, and just look on social media. And if you compare the lockdown in the other countries to the lockdown that we've seen and experienced here in South Africa, it's not the same thing. It's like miles apart. It's separated by galaxies. Okay? I agree with you, Dave. It is empty. I agree. But it should be more. It should be emptier, given that we're in a lockdown. And this is the reason for most of my panic. Okay, most of the time is because I'm not experiencing the lockdown as I'm expecting to experience the lockdown. If you look at, like I say, the international community and how they've done their lockdowns, that's serious stuff. What does bother me a bit, more than just a bit, is the amount of power that Bheki Cele very obviously has. It's shocking how easily we, as a community or as a country, it's shocking how quick and how easy it was to control us. So the position that the good Minister Fedora commands affords him too much power, if you ask me, and that's dangerous. That's very dangerous. So we've seen now how easily you can manipulate the entire economy, and all it took was one or two news reports about a pandemic. Anyway, the pandemic is real. We know that. I'm not promoting David Icke or Michael Moore or Eric von Daniken's theories of conspiracy theories. I'm just highlighting the fact that we are so easily controlled, and we think we're living in a democracy. I don't think we understand democracy. I think the Western world has a long way to go before we understand true democracy. Alright, check this out. We're driving past Spa. Okay, Spa is a lot busier today, right now, than what it was this morning. This is Spa, and there's a lot of people here, guys. This morning, it didn't look like this. Thankfully, this little car is very compact and very easy to maneuver. This little espresso. So again, this guy decides he's going to park right here. The other noticeable thing that does get me a little bit worried, I've been in the media for long enough to start recognizing patterns. Everywhere that I've driven this afternoon, I've seen cash and transit vehicles. Okay, so while we wait for this guy to move his vehicle, have a look there. You can see the people in Spa coming in and out there. I'm just being very courteous and assisting my fellow South African resident in moving his vehicle. Hang on, let's hear what he has to say.
I have to offload those things.
Oh, you're offloading?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. I'm going to go back. All right, so going to reverse. Thankfully, the Espresso has a reverse camera. Just like all the other bigger vehicles that I was driving the last few days, this little car has one of those reverse cameras. Can you believe it? So it's really like driving a Taz or an Uno on steroids. The voice commands, and it's got quite a good sound system as well. And then, of course, this little reverse camera thing. How awesome is that? Perfect. Okay, so we're heading down our usual route down this way. Yeah, look, there's a lot more movement here too than what there was this morning. I want to find out. I'm going to drive slowly. I want you guys to have a look at what this paving looks like. Forget about the people for a change. We've been looking at all the people walking up and down. Let's focus on the more important stuff for a minute. Do you see the amount of rubbish that are on these pavements? Now, you see these tables here. Now, these tables are not supposed to be there because they've got that they've got those little. Yeah, hey, listen. You can't just drive as whichever way you want to. Anyway, look at this. Is this the Tzaneen that we want? Those tables are not supposed to be there. That's the reason why the municipality erected these little kiosks. Here we have a whole bunch of guys. Here we have Dreyers going on here. That you can't allow that, guys. We cannot allow this. I'm going to drive. I'm going to keep the camera aimed at the side there, okay? And I'm going to drive down here and then have a look. This is the bus rank. Now, my question is, with all of these rickety little tables, that it's an eyesore. It's an absolute eyesore. I mean, it's full of bird and bat crap. Okay? And they're selling food and stuff off there. So, if all of these tables are taking up all the space, where on earth are the passengers who wait for their bus? Where are they expected to wait? What, in the middle of the road? Or in this little 2x2 meter space? I'm of the firm belief that we should take this time now and come and take these things, because I can't see that it's legally here. I mean, look at what it looks like. This is disgusting. And I'm sorry, you guys must get upset or mull or whatever you want to get, but this is not how you, how I mean, look at this. Look at, I'm going to drive very slowly now, okay? Just look at this. Now, how many tables do you think are here? And it's not even proper tables. So, if you want to look at the safety aspects, how safe are these structures that are just propped up on the pavement here where the people are supposed to be waiting for their buses? This is not right, guys. How about some safety inspections? How about we get the GTM to bring their safety inspectors? Apparently they said they have 4 health inspectors. So come down here and have a look at these tables. These tables which are at the moment covered in bat and bird crap. These tables are the same tables that people are selling food off of. Okay? So you want to complain about the people in Wuhan eating weird stuff out of that weird market, but look at this. Our people are eating food that are being sold to them out of this. I mean, come on. Who are we kidding? Look at this. Let me drive up this side. And look at this. Huh? What? Look at that. So you're telling me that all of these people, these hawkers here, look at this. I am embarrassed to drive through here. You're telling me that all of this is good, guys. You're telling me this is good. This is exactly what we want for our town. Look at this, on the pavements here. This is not safe. Never mind the health issues. But how many hawkers can possibly be selling? Hey? Look at that. So that's not all, okay? So how many of those hawkers do you think are selling the exact same stuff? Karen, I agree 100%. If you know the amount of articles and reports that I've written about these hawkers, those of you who follow me every week in the newspaper will know how many times I've written about these hawkers, how much flack I've received. But this is not normal. This is not how it's supposed to be. Hey? Looks like a slum. We've got a slum right in our CBD. And nothing gets done about it. So while it's admirable that we now have the hawkers up there in Donny Ubav Street registering, and they've now got their own permits, what about these guys? Because now the guys that are up top, one block up, now have to have permits, and they have to register and pay to be able to hawk there. These guys don't. These guys don't have to do that. Okay, we're back in the front view again. Now, I remember when I was a youngster in high school, this didn't look like this. So surely something can be done, because if none of us want this to look like this, why is it still looking like this? Do we not have a say? Do we, as the ratepayers and the business owners and the community in Tzaneen, do we not have a say in what our place looks like? The rest of this town is one of the most beautiful towns in the country. God forbid that we take any of our tour buses through here, because this is disgusting. So I've written so many reports about this. I've photographed this. I've got into shit about this because I've been attacked by people who are saying, yeah, but they're only trying to make a living. Well, it's against the law. If you're only trying to make a living, I can start robbing people because I'm trying to make a living, but it's against the law. So what was the point of erecting all of these little kiosk thingies? What was the point of that? If they're ignoring it in any case, and they're just erecting these little pallet tables next to it in any way. So what was the point of spending the money and providing these guys with these little kiosks if they're not even using it? Let me drive through the undercover parking here at Tzaneen Mall. I'm going to make a turn here so you can see the look. It's quite busy, obviously, but it's certainly not as busy as what it was during the before the lockdown. Okay, but it's still, in my opinion, too busy for a state of emergency. Because again, if you look at how if you look at how the other countries have managed their lockdown, those residents are all stuck inside their flats there in Italy and Spain and France. I mean, there's these memes going around, or videos going around of guys playing music from their balconies because they don't walk the streets. Not in South Africa. Yeah, also on that topic of the hawkers, so I have received information from one of the directors at the GTM that the municipality knows that the all of those hawkers that work on the R71 illegally, all of them work for one guy. So there's one guy in a bucky, and I've seen him. I've actually chased him before. I don't know if you guys remember, about a year and a half back, I actually had a little bit of a car chase with him, trying to photograph him. And he got away, okay, because I wasn't driving in one of BB Motors' vehicles at that stage. I'm sure if I had to try and chase him down in the vehicle that I'm going to be driving on Monday afternoon, which I'm not going to tell you yet, the vehicle I'm going to be driving on Monday afternoon would not only chase down the guy, but probably also be able to drive over him. Any event. So this is the undercover parking, and it's quiet. It really is. That side, the first entrance there, is busy, but I know why also, because on that side we've got Pick and Pay and we've got Woolworths, Woolies on that side, and so it would make sense that that side would be more busy, or busier, more busy, sorry, pardon the language, the grammar. Any case, so all of those hawkers that are illegally hawking along the R71, they all work for that guy that I couldn't catch. So the municipality know this. I counted 26 of those hawker stands, hawker stalls next to the R71. 26. My argument eventually changed because nobody was listening when I said it's illegal for them to be there, guys. It's illegal. And the arguments were, leave them alone. They're trying to generate an income for their families. Well, that's fantastic. It's still illegal. You're not allowed to do it. Go generate an income in a space that's provided for you, that's legal and safe. Okay? Anyway, so I changed my argument to the fact that 26 stalls, stands, along the R71 were each manned by 2 or 3 people. Let's call it 2 people. Now you have 52 people that need to go to the toilet. Yeah, Gerrit, you can send me the video. Any case, so where do those 56 illegal hawkers next to the R71 go and do their business? Yeah, Milani, don't say a word. So if you just look at that, I mean, imagine you have 52 people next to the R71. There's no ablution facilities. Alright? Nothing. So where do they go to the toilet? Where do they do their business? Anyway, that's enough ranting for today. I'm going to drive up here. Peace Med on your left. They were quite busy this morning. I see they're busy locking up. I've made a deal with the municipal manager that if he allows me access to Jetty 3, I'll go there once a week and I'll show you guys what's going on there, if everybody's still alright, and. Okay. So again, I'm going to just repeat what I've been saying the whole time. If you look at this part of Tzaneen, look at the residential areas and look at the more suburban areas of Tzaneen. The problem is not here, because here it looks like people are actually staying indoors, especially on a day like today, but all the businesses here, only their essential staff is working, and it's not a problem. The problem is the people coming from outside, and that's the problem. A good friend of mine from one of the national newspapers made a great statement the other day. He said that the stupid people are going to cause the deaths of the clever people, and I believe he's right. Okay, I'm going to drive up to Highgrove side, give you guys a view from down that way, from up there down this way, and then I'm going to close off this afternoon show with a drive to Sugarloaf, and there I will give you a bit of a better look at this very remarkable little vehicle that I'm driving. It's like I said, it's like my very first car, Tiny the Taz, just on steroids. If I had this car as a student, I would be the boss, I promise you. I would walk around with serious swag. Okay, so here we have Highgrove. I think that there's a lot of people. Highgrove is like a pit stop for most people on their way home from work, especially over weekends. You wouldn't see the paving bricks over here. There's so many vehicles, so I really hope that the lockdown doesn't last longer, although we probably will have maybe 2 weeks longer lockdown. But I feel very, very sorry for all of my friends who own restaurants, coffee shops, manage hotels. I can't see how they will manage to employ all the people that they currently employ. And you must remember that a lot of our lodges, restaurants, coffee shops, bars, they rely on pedestrian traffic, feet, because feet bring wallets and wallets bring money. And if they can't have feet, well, you make the sum. So we are thinking about all of you, and we hope that this lockdown doesn't last for too long. Like I said, I can't see that it does, that it will. Okay, so far a lot of you have given through your rainfall stats, which is, 10 mils. 10 mils is good. It's better than nothing. I saw the Tzaneen Dam today. I think tomorrow I'll drive down to the dam again, and we can have a look at the dam level. It looks a lot better than what it did a month ago, although it's nowhere near where we want it to be. But it looks a lot better. So I know a lot of parents really don't want it to be rainy weather, because then the kids stay indoors and drive you absolutely insane. But our area needs the rain. So let's see how it looks busy here. Yeah, so Sugarloaf looks busy. With this small little vehicle, I can just go anywhere really. What a comfortable ride also for such a small car. Very impressed with this vehicle. You won't ever have a problem with parking, let me tell you that. I'm going to turn it this way so you can see. Oh, there's some traffic cops doing some shopping. No, Sugarloaf really isn't all that busy. There's no queue like there was this morning and every other day before. Sassel over here is also, well, it's relatively busy, not too busy. I assume that people are finally getting the message. Or the other alternative is that people have all panic shopped and their money is now run out, and so they've got nowhere else to go but home. In any event, it's still there's my good friend Mike from Protonka. But there's a lot of movement up here by Van Velden Hospital. Passenger transport. Well, the parking lot is filled up there by Van Velden Hospital. Wonder why. Okay, I'm going to stop by my office and then I'll show you the vehicle as we finish the show. It's been fantastic, guys. Thank you very much for driving with me again today. Feels like I'm a bus driver, right? And I've got all of you as my passengers, so maybe we should start playing like a driving game. Yeah. So tomorrow's game will be spot the Easter Bunny. If you spot the Easter Bunny, then oh, we're driving past the police. Okay, so remember, tomorrow, if you spot the Easter Bunny, you need to immediately tell me that you've spotted the Easter Bunny. And then the first person to have spotted the Easter Bunny correctly will win a really, really cool hamper. If you've missed what the hamper is about, after the show. Back. Yes, Masoka, the roadblocks are indeed still active. They actually have become more active, and I don't know if they've been watching our videos, but they've stepped up the game. Right, so as we end off the show, let me show you. Look at this. Okay, now look when I put it into reverse. I mean, come on, would you expect that from a small vehicle like this? No, not at all. It's got if you look here, it's got, okay, so I haven't connected my phone because it messes around, but it's a touch screen, and you can just scroll through here. You can get radio, okay, and then you can program your radio station that you want to listen to. So look, it is a lot smaller obviously than any of the other vehicles, but it's surprisingly spacious. I mean, and for the price, you know, very, very surprised. This is a 1,000, and it doesn't drive like 1,000 cc, but obviously the vehicles today doesn't. So this is what the vehicle looks like. It's not really an ugly car. Not by a long shot. It's a little bit bigger than the Picanto, the Kia Picanto. So it's got nice boot space as well. Let me just get to open the boot here. So look at this boot space, right? Now, if you're a student, or you're a mom with driving the kids up and down, this vehicle will be perfect for you. It is quite spacious. It's very, very cheap to run and to maintain. Yeah, so there we go. This was today's vehicle, proudly sponsored by the BB Motors Group in Tzaneen, the Suzuki Espresso. I was very, very, very surprised at its performance and its economy, and actually the size. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for joining me again. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, not at 9 o'clock again. I'm going to be seeing you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Remember, at 9 o'clock we'll have that church service up for you guys to have a look at in celebration of Easter. Then after that we will have our daily drive show, and obviously the drive show in the afternoon as well. What vehicle do you think that I'm going to be driving tomorrow? You'll have to wait and see. Alright guys, thank you very much. My name is Joe. I'm from the Bulletin, and this was the daily drive show with Joe in the afternoon. Be safe, be blessed, get out some popcorn, get the blankets, have a lovely movie evening. Ciao.